What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about some subject that has been on my mind recently, and that was a subject that kind of was brought about by just like talking to some of my friends and hearing the different perspectives of people at I would say different levels in like the Balisong community and the content creators that exist within it. And that topic specifically is the distance between somebody who's a content creator in a space, be it the Balisong community or really any other space, and the community itself. Because something I've noticed over time is that I have had less and less of a distinct ability to kind of perceive the Balisong community in the same way that a normal person who is just in the community would be able to. At the same time, it's also affected my ability to interact with people in said community in the same way that I would normally be able to. And I think there's some distinct reasons behind that, and they're related to how being a content creator works, because there is a distance between any given content creator and the community that they sort of inhabit, but that distance is kind of required. I actually believe it is a distinct requirement of being a content creator, especially one at scale, to have that sort of distance. And the reason I believe that is because it comes down to a specific thing, which is a content creator like me or anybody trying to make videos for, an audience, inherently means that they're working to create something for an audience and that they have an audience. And an audience at a very micro scale is not that bad. You can easily interact with, 100 or so people who watch your videos or something. But as soon as you start to get into an audience that exceeds 1,000 people, you quickly start to realize that there is sort of this distance between you and the people you're actually creating content for that can't really be closed in any meaningful way without destroying the content that you're creating itself. What I mean by that is partially interactions, right? So interactions between a creator and their community. So if I was to attempt to interact with every person that commented on every one of our videos and every person that DMs me on a regular basis, I would literally have no time in the day to do anything else. I get hundreds of DMs a day, and I get hundreds of comments as well. And all of these things, if it was going to take a minute to respond to every single one of those, well, suddenly I'd be spending several hundred minutes of the day literally just responding to stuff. And that balloons out into hours very rapidly. And when you really get into the thick of it, you start to spend entire, if you were trying to respond to literally everything, you would be spending massive sections of your own time trying to respond to everybody. And so that is just simply not feasible, right? It's just not possible to do that. And so unfortunately, there is to, continue creating a sort of required distance between a creator and the people, enjoying what they're creating. And so that's what I mean when I say a required distance. I mean, literally speaking, for most creators past a certain threshold, you simply cannot, respond to everyone in your community or even have ears open for everyone in your community. It's just not feasible. There's no real good way to do that without expensive architecture and managers and stuff, which I do not have and have no intention of having for quite some time because I do not make enough money for that. But this is just something that I thought about that I thought was kind of interesting because I think it creates a distinct problem in the way that I view certain issues in the community versus the way other people will experience those issues. I might see things as not a big deal, while other people who are more ingrained in the actual community at large will see those things as a big deal. And it's been kind of interesting and kind of scary for me in a way, going from where I was, which, was very much as a part of the community and very deeply ingrained in what the community was, and like, you know, my experiences were crafted specifically around being a part of that community, instead of now where my experiences are crafted around being a creator within a community. And, you know, the distance that forces me to kind of have to take in certain circumstances. So, I don't know, it's just an interesting problem. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, like, altogether. I think if someone is aware of that kind of issue, like I am, then you can make efforts to sort of subvert the problems that come along with it by trying to maintain a sort of informed status about the community itself, and, you know, have a select few people that you do go to on a regular basis who do have a lot of information and, you know, on the ground, eyes open sort of perspectives on the community, and the ability to actually, you know, transmit that information to you in a way that doesn't absolutely overload your mind with people, because, like, you know, that can be very, very distracting and destructive to someone's psyche to, you know, literally be inundated with messages and be thinking about that. That can be kind of stressful if that's like your entire life, which, you know, for me to some degree it is. So you know, I think it's a problem that can be solved, and I think it's something that, like, isn't a massive issue in terms of, you know, my ability to create content or creating stuff that benefits the community in the way that the cases and the Vulp and other projects that I'm working on potentially have the ability to. But it does mean that there is an inherent distance between me and someone who experiences the community in a normal way. And I think that is an interesting thing to think about, and an interesting thing to make sure that I am aware of. Because, as I said, if you're not aware of it, that's when the problem really starts, because then you're, you know, making choices and making assertions that have very little to do with what the actual problems of the community are, which can be very, very bad for your reliability as a creator. So, like, there is an inherent need for, you know, transparency and understanding, and making sure that, you know, people know what you're doing and you know what you're doing and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, that's just a pretty basic, you know, idea level on my thoughts on this subject. I just thought it was something interesting to bring up. Oh, I'm back from vacation now, by the way. I'm sure you noticed the break in videos. Went on vacation, made a couple videos there, but then I really decided not to make anything else past that point. So now I'm back, and yeah, stuff is happening. There's a few updates coming, so get ready for that. Definitely keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have some cool stuff happening on this channel, as well as the main channel. Have a huge video project that I'm working on right now, so that one's extremely exciting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the moment. Just wanted to talk a bit about what I've been thinking about, and that is a topic that was highly on my mind. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.